Hello, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I decided to open up with another dungeon again, just to get more of them out of the way. Also, you might have noticed I was sitting in Minfilia's chair, because, well, she never sits in it. Because she's a weenie! Here we have Brayflock's Long Stop Hard Mode. We will be synced down to level 110 again. In case you're forgetting what the side quest involving this is basically the Illuminati. The Goblin Illuminati came back to take back their cheese recipe from Brayflock's. And we've got to save her Gobby Flock. I look weird without my spear on my back. There we go. Let's eat our food. Hera, you need to put on a grid. There you go. That's a spicy meatball. Come on, you can do it. Just follow the water. You kind of notice the theme that they have going for hard mode dungeons is you enter at a different point, and but you go over to the same locations. They've been altered by new terrain differences, and you know whatever the story of the dungeon is. Excuse me. This was the first dungeon that people really started learning how to mask pull on. I mean, people did mask pull before this dungeon. They did. But this is the one where the player base like really caught their stride and were just like, we're gonna just pull everything. Where people really started to learn their AoE rotations. Monk was grossly overpowered at this point in the game's history for a good while, honestly. Monk was really strong for such a long time that when the player base started to do the meme, you know, delete Monk, because they were all obsessing over people figuring out a meta composition in Heavensward, like mid-Heavensward. You know, it's kind of like, didn't make sense to me. I was just like, why do you care? None of you were speed killers. And Monk is still so fucking strong, especially after they buffed it. It was just like, I barely noticed a difference. Plus it had Mantra, and for non-Dark Knight parties it had Dragon Kick, so I mean, like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't meta in Heavensward, but after they buffed it up to 16-second Grease Lightning, it was okay. It really got to shine as the preeminent melee for pretty much all of 2.0 to 2.55. Like, even when Ninja came out and scared both of the melee into being like, you know, why bring a Dragoon or a Monk? Just bring two ninjas, stagger the trick attacks. Some groups did do that. Ninja was grossly overpowered. But Monk still had like an edge in most fights. As long as they didn't lose their Grease Lightning for more than like, I think like one round of GCDs or whatever. And that was sort of always Monk's shtick in the early game, was the fact that, like, they were actually, like, pretty much on top of damage for single target. And, I mean, AoE-wise, they were okay. Like, they had some decent AoEs. Especially if you incorporated Perfect Balance into spamming Rocket Crusher over and over again. But, you know, like, the deal was, you know, it's like, if you lose your Grease Lightning stacks, you know, it's a huge loss. Like the way fight signs were, you know, stuff like Titan and Titan. I guess in Garuda to an extent, and even Ifrit a little bit. Like basically, anytime you couldn't do damage with your combos, you couldn't make Grease Lightning stacks. And if you couldn't do that, you know, you lost your stack. You didn't have all the stuff, other than Perfect Balance, you didn't have any of the stuff that lets you, like, just get your stacks back really quickly. Like Monk has today. Monk has, like, Swarm Shift, it's got a Natman, it's got, well, it used to have, I guess they got rid of those. It used to have Wind Tackle. Recalling stuff is a trip. Oops. I pressed the wrong button. I've got like a 4-minute video of level 60 Dragoon soloing the 4th turn of Binding Coil Bahamut, like just before Stormblood came out, and just looking at the hotbar back then compared to what Dragoon has now, I'm just sort of, I was like watching the video, watching my own video, something that I actually did myself, with my own 2 hands. Like, I got confused. I was just like, what's that skill do again? It had been so long. Got some, looks like we got like a boss gate under this rock. They won't blow, she won't blow open the sneak way until, you kill all the Illuminati that are terrorizing her brethren. So unlike the original Brave Locks, or the normal mode Brave Locks, they actually enforce that you help the goblins out in hard mode. Which is good, because I kind of hate the fact that most people skip them, because they skip out on a lot of ethereal treasure, and I don't know, I think everyone is so preoccupied with going quickly to like get their tomes, they're not actually fully enjoying, you know, the stuff that dungeons do have to offer. Which, I mean, in the more modern dungeons it makes sense, because they respond to the player base, right? Like, they look at their numbers and their analytics and stuff, and it's like, well, people aren't stopping, you know, to read lore tidbits, or they're not stopping to save NPCs. So let's make dungeons boring and, you know, full of nothing but just kill this trash, kill this boss, kill this trash, kill this boss, right? And to a certain extent, I can understand why people, they don't really, you know, want to do any of the side stuff. Time is money, time is your life. You know, a lot of times you're just in the dungeon to get some EXP and a roulette bonus, and then get out. And then, you know, it's just like some people are just trying to finish like a dungeon off before work, or before, you know, the cutoff of the recording or something. Like, I get it, I really do. But I just feel like we kind of shot ourselves in the foot as a player base by, you know, basically being unwilling to to perform the the things that make dungeons interesting. We're unwilling to do. Like, we say, oh, that's dumb, I don't want to do that. And so they say, okay, I guess we'll just make dungeons simple, and well, as simple as dungeons are now, you know, they're just railroads with trash and bosses. Of course, that's what a lot of people have always seen them as. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly crotchety. I think when I was playing Destiny 1 with my friends, one of my friends was just like, man, why are you so salty about everything all the time? Because, I don't know how to turn off being critical of stuff when I start getting critical of it. So, like, I just go. And I become like a mire of, I won't say hate, but like a mire of salt. Very salty mire. Yeah, that Torama thing's got a lot of HP. Shock! Illuminati will not have cheese! No! Brain flux! Illuminati's a bunch of cheaters. These are tanks. This boss is pretty fun. Got this goofy music. The goblin tank. If you get in front of the tank, it will knock you away and run you over. So be careful about that. Our duty has become to knock the bombs away. Ooh. Oh my. We're in trouble. Okay. Maybe we can do it. Got it! What a good way to have cheese. Or save the cheese. Clyde's just rolling in the commendations today. Hey look, I'm still in Minfilia's chair. We'll just start up another queue then. Because we just keep having stuff to queue for, you know. Antecedent, you have a guest. Oh, he's got a smile on his face. Lamin? Cilia. Or is it just a Scylla? I can't... I'm sitting too far away from the screen to see the letters properly. I haven't seen her like this in years, Clyde. You mean Minfilia being happy, or what? Imperials came for her, huh? Well, they came for us too, so your reasoning doesn't really make sense. Now they say that Flamin has both Seeker of the Sun and Keeper of the Moon traits to her facial features, but to me she just looks like a Keeper of the Moon, so I don't know, but I'm no cat girl specialist, as you might have noticed. My the first video in this Let's Play is actually getting a lot of dislikes from I guess from people not liking my voice and vocal cadence, and also the fact that I dissed cat girls. Cat's eye, huh? My father was a member of the Alamegan Resistance. How about that? Okay, it is Cilia. Okay. Gotta leave UL'DAH, huh? Like, seriously, I don't see any Seeker of the Sun features. Maybe I'm retarded. My older brother actually believes that I have Asperger's, but I don't have any diagnosis on that, so I don't think it's true. I don't think that I do. And even if I did, what would it change? I'm still me. That's all there is to it. We might be able to sell one of these materia on the market board for more than 500, so we'll see what's up with that. Revenant Soul, huh? Yep, uh-huh. Okay. Just call her Minfilia, dude. I never met this shtick. I was pretty sure Rowena owned the toll. I don't think you can go talk to this dude, this emissary, anywhere in Revenant's Toll ever. So. Wouldn't it have made more sense to bring Slaftborn here? Or any of the people we dealt with in the main storyline in Mordona that helped us infiltrate, do what he's talking about? And infiltrate the castrum? Nah. The hell's with it. Square probably wasn't thinking. They usually... I hate to say it, but Square usually accidentally sort of bumbles into their masterpieces. Not to say that they have no skill at it, but like... It's really more of a happy accident that stuff they do story-wise is like really good. Because so much of the time they're just... they're just putting the game out. They're putting the content out, and then later they're like, oh, this is how this ties into that. Yeah, I knew it all along. That was intentional. But I don't want to speak with Flamin. I'm not into cat girls. Yeah, she's barely taller than Alpha Nod. Oh, really? Wow, okay. Well, since we're here, though, we might as well do something more important, like go check on our associates like Arnvald. Oh, he doesn't say anything different. What about UL'DAH? In a Titan spot. Primal's might is determined by two factors, the amount of crystals it has gorged upon, and the fervor of its believers. I would like nothing more than to measure precisely how strong the Lord of Crags has become, but I fear the time for such prudence has run out. Very well. Oh hey, Copperbell Mines hard mode. Here we go. Second dungeon, right? Because we did Brayfox Longstop just like a couple minutes ago. This is one of the first new dungeons at level 50, introduced in 2.1. And my friends at the time and thought it was hilariously good and also a little difficult. My ex-girlfriend drew some funny doodles of her and her friends at the time doing some stuff with the second boss. Beware if you ever date an artist, because like you won't stop liking their art, you know. So like, at least I didn't, and like basically, I still see her art today, and I love how it looks. But we pretty much don't have anything to do with each other at all. She just... You can actually skip those monsters, but... I wanted the gil. I wanted the EXP. These monsters on really short tethers, something to do with how they designed Copper Bell hard mode, or Copper Bell in general, actually. So, yeah, I got that. So you actually can just skip lots of monsters in here, just like in the original Copper Bell. Kind of weird, but every dungeon is unique, so that's something that we can appreciate, right? Or at least every dungeon used to be unique. They still do a really good job with dungeon appearance and dungeon aesthetics. Like, I love all of the new dungeons that come out just for the way they look. Especially the ones in the Shadowbringers expansion. But as for the substance within them, alright, the quality and quantity of dungeons has gone down. That's unfortunate, but their data says that people don't want to do dungeons, so they're kind of, you know, they don't give them to us anymore. Plus, there's the general fuckery with Square Enix corporate division. They've basically moved a lot of the dev team away from 14 because it is successful. So they want them to go make other successful projects, while this just sort of sits around like a fat cat and collects money for them. Just wildly unfortunate, but it's the way corporate likes to think. So that's why it's the way it is, unfortunately. I'm not using any of my cooldowns because stuff dies so quickly anyway. I'm going to save it for the boss. Because we're really close to the boss. How about that? This was the room that the first boss had in, but you see, in the original Copper Bell, but you see, now we've got this, this bridge that wasn't here before, because they tried to reopen the mine. I want to be careful of the bombs. The bombs, they do that. And if they go off, it's pretty much lethal life. So. Kind of an interesting boss. The lower you get him, the more of the platform he sets on fire. And eventually he will light the whole of the bridge on fire. It's just, he dies so quickly, even in the old days, that this last little segment here usually never goes on fire. Also, the bombs will charge off towards the fire if you let them live long enough. And that, rather than just trying to blow up because they're close to death, if they reach the fire, they instantly explode. So it's like one of those things. Also, something I forgot that they did as a quality of life change is when you drop down, you know, off of elevation, you're supposed to take damage. And in dungeons, you used to take 90% of your health dropping down that elevator shaft that we just dropped down. And since they did that quality of life change, that no longer happens. Because they're all breaking free. There's actually like some symmetrical difference between like the Hecaton Cares, the Gigas, and the Giants or whatever. And honestly, I don't remember what it is, and they haven't, you know, talked about it at all beyond like the first time it's mentioned, which is in like the final guild hest. So just one of those things. For this boss, you notice it has a lot of HP. You can kill it with strength of arms, but it's better to put the bomb down, you see. And then the bomb explodes, and it takes 30,000 damage. You want to be kind of careful though. It does that, and then bombs randomly spawn. It can't be tanked once it starts moving, so that's the thing. For whatever reason, the bombs do 30,000 damage to the boss, but only 2,000 damage to players. It's probably to make up for the fact that at some point you're going to have to just directly carry the bomb into the boss. It moves too quickly. I guess I can do the bomb. And just like the enemy bombs, when the bomb goes into the fire, it instantly explodes. So, that's kind of cool. Well, this is the same room we fought the green slime in the original Copper Bell. As you can see, we're almost back down to the original chamber where we fought the Gigas leader before. That was all like, we're slaves no longer. When my ex and I were still trying to be friends, we actually ran this dungeon together in a roulette or something. And I was tanking, and I basically pulled everything back here. And one of my friends was like, "Why'd you pull so much?" And my ex was healing, and she was like, "It's to punish me for dumping him." Like, no, I figured we could handle it. And we did. We did handle it just fine. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy XI for about, I guess about a year and a half with my ex, and then we were together for almost 2 years, but not quite. And I guess that depends on who you ask, because I'm pretty sure she considered me dumped like 2 months before she actually dumped me, because we weren't in contact with one another. But, well. Cute Wriggly Wrigglies punish the Abyss Worm emerges? I remember this dungeon a little bit. crystallized rock. We're gonna bring it here. Feed. Stun. The crosshair is who the ads will target. The ads in this dungeon cannot be tanked. So that's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. And the Abyss Worm, if you don't feed it some crystallized rock every now and then, it'll eventually do a sand vortex and suck everyone to the middle of the room and deal like 3,500 damage to everybody or something. It's pretty ridiculous. Alright, I should probably just kill the boss, but I'm a sucker for mechanics sometimes. And another dungeon bites the dust. I just realized I'm the only not cat person in this party of cat people. They leave? Oh, they all left. And nobody waits for shit these days. You'd think that at least one of them would want a, Nobody told me there'd be giants. Oh, back to the quicksand, huh? Y'all gonna go ERP? They got an Alamigan. They got, I mean, he's possibly Alamigan. And then some Malafels. Alright, so I guess what we can do now, the remainder of this episode, is we can go ahead and go to LIMSALOMINSA, talk to the Maelstrom about Titan. Then I guess we can go attune for Titan to unlock it, Titan hard mode. And then we can... See, we've done 2 dungeons. I guess they both took about 20 minutes. There was that little like 5 to 10 minute segment in between. So probably only got like, what, like 10 to 15 minutes left on this recording, so... One of these days I'm gonna lose track of time and like, I'm gonna be loading through some really long loading. And, because my load times are abysmal. And the video's gonna cut off. Alright. I need Titan spot. I need it to pop up in my thing. Brunhilde is a really busy server. In fact, all of Crystal seems to be a really busy data center. Like, when I logged in earlier today to run some experts on my Excalibur character, and there was no waiting queue at all to get in. It actually took like 5 minutes to queue in on the needed, like the adventurer in need job, which is tank. Yeah. Well, Rasat Ricky, I mean, I'm sure you're strong enough to do it. I know for a fact that you're capable of doing Fell Cleave. But no! Okay, so we gotta go to the mines. What's this? Oh, Sahagins. Okay, it's Beastman quest. I think I'll, once I get through more of the duties that you have to queue into, I'll go around and I won't really do the Beast Tribe quests, like, as like their, you know, through their full narrative scope, because they take weeks at a time to complete, because you only have a daily allowance of Beastman tribe quests. So, like, I'll show them off, like, unlocking them, and, like, you know, basically that there's basically a good segment for each of the Beastmen. There's, like, a good kobold, there's good, I warped to the wrong place. There's good, well, while we're here, we might as well go get her earrings, right? There's good kobolds, there's good Amalja, there's good Sahagins, there's good, there's obviously the Sylphs, which are good. There's good, good Ixali, and then, let's see, kobolds, Ixali, Sahagin, Amalja, Sylphs. I thought there was a sixth one. There might have only been 5. I don't know. It's been too long. By the 12, I know this design. Okay, well, glad we picked that up. Now we want to go to Outer La Nocia, though, because I want to unlock Titan. Because I think what I'll do is I'll unlock Titan, and then I'll draw this episode to a close here, and next time I'll open up with Titan hard mode, so that'll be good. That'll be fun. As far as Beastman Tribe quest releases go, it was like the Amalja were first. Then I think they released the Kobolds and the Sylphs at the same time. And then I think the Sahagin and the Ixali were last, but it's been so long, I'd have to look at the patch notes to actually give you an accurate thing. You can actually go on the Lodestone or one of the Final Fantasy XIV wikias and look at every single patch note and tooltip that's ever been in the game. So that's kind of, you know, that's a thing. The one thing I kind of miss from Final Fantasy XI is they had, you know, these separate actual zones for the Beastman strongholds, where like you actually had to zone in and it was a zone all on its own. I'm not saying that I hate the fact that, you know, it's seamless to go into this Beastman stronghold, but it just makes it feel like less of a place, you know, because it's you know, it's literally just part of, you know, it's just part of Outer La Nocia. You know, it's not actually like its own like city, basically. But yeah, now we've unlocked Titan hard mode, so we can kill Titan. And the Titan hard mode fight drops item level 80 weapons, except for Paladin. There's no Paladin sword from Titan. There is a shield, but yeah, they basically wanted Paladins to get the relic weapon for sure. And the Titan weapons are kind of renowned for being ugly, because they're basically just giant rocks that are vaguely in the shape of whatever weapon type it is. But they're effective, so... or they were, you know. second best weapon in the game for, well, I guess third best weapon in the game for a while, but second best if you didn't raid, so. Anyway, thanks for watching if you did. Next time we'll open up the Titan hard mode, then we'll queue for more stuff while we grind out more main storyline quests. And I'll see you next time. Stay safe.